Shikimti Q and Sukum Sabisu Nimpio Nilho Zulvahani Akin Yushi Nim Ashla Aungla Sapemi Reverend Moko, Field Secretary, pastors, youth pastors, and any church leaders. Isna Kishnel Wangel Chokulare Igigiho Bisunong Zulani. And then thirdly, I would also like to extend my respect to our youth secretary, to our youth president and his colleagues. Panong Kweri Igigiho Bisunong Zulani. And panong Washington Tilashani in Akus Monamo in a victim Shiktim Gutumanke. Ikimo Panong Ipelonari and Hipol Spenke. The opportunity and platform poets panong shikim tani adoption the mola puthopa sa mawage nimvu youth president ang manase ni pawela ang shinke ni ko kasanke iza pamu reverend honobu ikyu pai inguke ke ang manas nevle bikuna tim jure mo ke 40-50 kan ke after I reached the place yesterday, I was told and mentioned, I was informed that there were about 150 participants. So, I can lay them suspension. Topic like career guidance. Career guidance. Clarification like this may perhaps disappoint some of you. Give me a little clarification like it's career guidance PIA multiple resource persons actually from different fields like medical field, entrepreneurship, civil services, teaching profession. Different career prospects, career prospect teaching, and a career position positioning people teaching Ikemu isna ye tipo shnamoke. Topic like akupula career guidance I'll be specifically talking about NPSC civil services examination only. Tipo laki enatsa pitpizo tipo clarification like and as you can see here, the topic that I'll be speaking on is cracking the code, strategies and tips to crack NPSC civil services examination. I'll particularly be talking about this topic only, but then again towards the end perhaps I'll mention a few points on certain skill development trainings which is provided by the central government as well as the government of Nagaland currently. I'll try and add a few points. Before I begin my presentation, lucky in June Shaiku, Hili Erakim Dolo Kishino graduate Shiva Momu Pichawagila Shikinto like our big singer. Okay, thank you, Pastor. Okay, can you please lift your hands again? Okay, just a few of you. Achamakije na hili undergrad students still in college, still pursuing your undergrad degrees, BA, BAc, okay, just one. How many of you are in higher secondary, class 11, 12, high school? Okay, meaning high school and higher secondary students ko pachanya. Anyway, one more question. Nung kijni hili civil services experience and BSc exam since kimi achengila momsa kimangilo like can I see your hands once? Just 3 of you. How about those in still in high school and higher secondary? Are you all planning to appear NPSC after your graduation? Kum this plan change class 10, 11, 12 like me NPSC exam sing me. Like I was just thinking. If you concern me, people get to new president Villa since I'll be speaking on NPAC. Erikim go to NPAC chikim chuloka my presentation. Erikim go for full smoking. Your own if presentation and now it's push good for full smoking if concern shy. Anyway, in ishi introduce no NPAC. I hope this presentation would be of some benefit to you. Or for that matter, no dola exam smoking shagana la apaza shagana exam smoking shagana mo no abulam dolari NPSC chiki magni la abulam aksampa exam chiki magni no little small abulam aksampa chiki magni ke ike no ne hili kula shikal ku vechunari no aksampa mi abulam goblam dishi no panong advice ko tsinenge ike tipo laki dishi bilani. Acha. In Asia, this is how I've structured my presentation. I'll first talk about what civil services is all about. Okay, there are different categories of services, right? So I'll first talk about what civil services is all about. Secondly, I'll talk about the scheme of examination. Okay, because I think that is a very important point that must be covered. Example po ye ko wala shi conduct shi ki wala shi tipo covers ni. Thirdly, I'll also dwell a little on certain myths surrounding NPSC examination. Ike tipo wala shi give presentation binani, and then I will not be taking a lot of time. Perhaps I'll take about at the most 45 to 50 minutes only. And then, after the conclusion of my presentation, I'll give you the time to raise any questions if you have any. Okay? In Asia, I don't think that would be, an inconvenience for any one of you, right? I hope I'm audible. Am I audible? How about the presentation here? Is it legible? It's legible, no? Acha, what is civil services? Broadly speaking, there are three categories of services. The first service is the educational service. Under it falls services such as assistant professor, teaching job, example, assistant professor, postgraduate teacher, educational service, shikka service, educational service planning. Technical services. Under it falls medical services. Doctors ko kumla, medical service, technical service le join. Engineering services la, alagam like you, akim like you la. Tipo engineering service tipo for example SDO posts such as SDO junior engineer. All such posts and services falls under the category called technical services. Okay. Now the third category of services is the civil services, and that is what I'll be talking about this morning. What is a civil services? Civil services basically put, are services which deals with the delivery of, public goods and services. Public for example, administrative services. Deputy Commissioner ko iten tamo district DC children nation. EAC Extra Assistant Commissioner Chulvan SDO, that falls under civil services. For that matter, law and order services, police ko that falls under civil services, right? Or for that matter, ikumla, ite taxes department line. And my job is basically to bring in revenue for the state government. Ikumla Nagaland government ongna pisa you revenue you, and a revenue tipo you bechuna revenue tipo bechuna development kumlala secu la momo government employees ko atha secu tipo you service na civil services pitching in a very simply put, basically put na civil services are services related with administration, related with law and order, related with delivery of public goods and services. Okay, and that is what civil services is all about. Okay, in line with the categorization of services that I've just mentioned now. Okay. Okay, there are in Nagaland, in line with the categorization of services that I've mentioned now, Nagaland levy exam under NPSC service categorization. The first exam is called NPSC Common Educational Services. NPSC na exam na conducting Common Educational Service people. Ikit shikamu job ko for jobs and designations such as assistant professor, PGT PQ, postgraduate teacher PQ. Tipo do you designation na tipo do you job na NPSC CES bichenge in short Common Educational Service exam conduction. Secondly, there is another category of examination conducted by NPSC called NPSC Combined Technical Service Examination. Ike tipo examination yeti SDO postcode DQ, Junior Engineer postcode DQ, Medical Officer postcode DQ, tipo kono conduction. Thirdly, and most importantly, NPSC Civil Services Examination. Now this examination is conducted, for posts such as ESC, Extra Assistant Commissioner, DSP, Police Landing, DSP chulwamo, DSP, Momu ivu postcode DQ, tipo DQ ono conduction. Nagaland Secretariat Service Post, tipo DQ ono conduction. Inspector Post, Food and Civil Supplies Department Industries Inspector Post IQ. Civil Services Post, NPSC Civil Services Examination exam people conduction. And in my opinion, out of the three, different types of examination conducted by NPSC, I don't mean to undermine the, other two examinations, nor do I tend to undermine this, those people who have, cracked the other two examinations. In my opinion, and I feel this is an opinion which should be, agreed by almost every, aspirants, that out of the three examinations, the most difficult examination is the NPSC Civil Services Examination, given the scheme of examination, given its syllabus, and given the intense competition that takes place in the NPSC Civil Services Examination. Examination to the law, but that does not mean it is not doable. Secondly, now, hili here in lucky, akutosh lucky, pinch IQ. NPSC Civil Services Examination hipo in owner. No kakum pizu, no kakum pitu pizu. Mom advises mo. And example sing ki shipina in kia kopi masake. Tipo we injum pizu ne. The first step and the most important step, I believe, is to ask yourself as to why you want to join the civil services. No kakum NPSC Civil Services Exam sing ki kona kakum pizu, pitu pizu. First important step here, civil services joint civil servant laki joint question important until and unless you have a good enough reason as to why you want to join the civil services, you will not last long in this preparation journey. Exam ibu ini slip begitu, mula muat sab mungkin. Tim laki na first attempt na began to know. It usually takes 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes it even takes 8, 9 attempts to crack the NPSC Civil Services Examination. Personally, it also took me 3 attempts to crack NPSC. Nya attempt actual na crack shike. So. Nona exam la ipere monamo itara pukapsa in Q la na convict motivation ko na kya nona exam la multiple times fail shvenamo itare ulki no motivate shipu ani itara pukapsa fail shimta nita pukapsa tipo motivation ki ne na kya pe paye. That motivation lies in the answer to this question. Nona kushe civil services joint shin answer tipo la chingine. No answer tipo na alo agaye no utukte di felshlo bidi bum felshlo. You will always pick yourself up and try again if your reason or your conviction to join the civil services is good and genuine enough. Okay, Let me share you what my conviction was to join the civil services. Actually, one of our office bearer, during his introduction about my, during his brief introduction about my profile, mentioned that I'm an engineering student. Engineering student like he, and given my degree, I should have pursued a technical job. Again, the reason why I decided to pursue a career in civil services is because I had this conviction at heart. Okay, and a conviction ki boy ye ikumsila high school, higher secondary, college days na namu ikumsila lot like achike. And a kyu namu, and a kyu kumla joins namu ikumla tibo bechona timi kupulingyu. Ako to shi ikumla tibo bechona panal ki panachipio wana pim like him home na bilingyu mlatsingyu tibo tigo ako na join shimpe tibo ikumsila cheke. And civil services happen to be the the right kind of job that people in a constitute tipo share. Civil services join should give a team couple Q, some couple Q, tipo job like share. And in Ato at the Musikila, which came in the prelims like first attempt, Ikimu immense like I became very frustrated, discouraged. Ikimu, I went back to the time when I first decided on joining civil services. I went back to the reason as to why I decided to join civil services. Even conviction tipo achek civil services ni book some join tim ko because tipo reason tipo around na neta ilkini ena tom lawe ma to wala ilkini snehel puita ka pakap akinula felish vegeta akinula prelims with mo vege. And then I became, I became doubly frustrated and discouraged. I picked myself up again because I had this strong conviction. Ipo up to ni pire. Ikima up to le ipire kimu ni ikim jitol moke. Ini kim ja chekyo. Ipo ena nonglo la kipin shek. Ni tekula sa fikine exam. Ni kashire NPC alushkin di kangal prelims le kashire ni mains exam spank. Kuona kompe ikim jitol bikyu. And atsalatsa if conviction strong shagamo ye ne 2018 la crack shwegi ne kete exams mo wicha no kurete ina ki bomu shmu anja chanta no ite yela ikimo if conviction tipo IQ tipo turum bigyu ina kumla shinsha IQ ite service tipo alo skim tena ikimena kumla shinsha IQ tipo hipo service la ishla mo kyu ina mija IQ akumla tipo tolpu ina kyu de kyu kumla shinsha IQ tipo shinipe conviction IQ 2014 exam siki ni technical exam sa video am picture shwat la now if had I not had this genuine strong conviction if in a bushe civil services join shin chanka tipo vo in a conviction tipo strong shamo genuine shamo ni hitola exams mon cheke and a tom lavim da ni pokapsa pitara exam sik take tipo shimon cheke ne ekete ronga non vle po la kipin shake examos tu bizu hipo ulkuvle injulo en kushi bo plan ke be baye what I've seen is aksam dolo akum dolo shahanam tim kuto mona tim na exam sa ne apazana pana tenula atenna interest kamu jobo jos keti pressure tipo coaching pe na exam sike la ipo pana mo de yeti Pendant que l'on a hyperdu comme tu vois, un peu la qui est sous jour, hyper moi pas créer. Là, momo tim hamshel là, a timi aksam nasa qui n'est sim pipo, un peu la qui est skier le chipo, hyper moi comme ça créer. Adona time musique, adona coaching puis ça pour que. Non pela tipo spinch mo qui vous. Tipo on a tipo non le plan que. Ni vous un problème quoi ni. Là. Kuchu na exam ça qui o tout zin touches Sepui ipere monam padang na conviction strong shangula utu cinta che to la svekim shamule conviction na strong shangula ite to la sa begini ne padang na conviction strong shamon bati padang wa la kina smo vinche nete ikyu non bello adona sa na sa ne sa ipo adona coaching la pisa po adona kyu udo kilepe mon kyu na ipo atarasha hoto shnu la plan veto mo. Are you all following me? Now, no, all you la question if you're convinced, yes, this is where I want to be. This is the career path that I would like to pursue. This is the next step is to have a good understanding of the examination syllabus and the question pattern. Examination syllabus ye NPSC syllabus la QQ topic mentioned QQ subject mentioned you need to have a very good idea of the syllabus and the topics prescribed and the topics and the subjects prescribed in the syllabus. Secondly, you also need to have a fairly good idea of how the question pattern is. Question ni ko wala shi join Q topic lan pa chin join tipo itimasa ya akoto gene ka kumpitu bisu Q shi hipo akoto ge pipa ye no syllabus understanding alusitive question pattern Q wala shi irangel tipo alusitive ye you will know how to study and what to study Q wala kish masa Q masa gela tipo simshe betan lenge syllabus mo previous year's question paper it's like a map. It's like a map. For example, if you go to a new place, example and assuming that you're not familiar with Guwahati, what do you use? You use Google Map, right? Google Map tells you which turn not to take, which turn to take, which junction to take. Google Map na direction is above destination is out in the exam syllabus mo previous year's question paper here map. This map will tell you how to reach your destination because having a good understanding of the syllabus and the previous year's question paper will give you a fairly good idea of how to study and what to study. Kish pimasa, Q wala kish pimasa, Q pimasa, tipo itivenenke. No, tipo itivaye. I'm telling you. Your preparation process will become, comparatively easier. And I'm telling you that you will also, likely perform very well in the examination. Okay? So the next step that you need to do is to study the syllabus and the previous year's question papers. Now, if you're wondering where to, find the syllabus in the previous year's question papers, it's all available, in the NPSC website. NPSC website that P mentions the syllabus previous year's question paper prelims sana mains sana pitli ang diho NPSC website de lo nong pela tipo suspension nong interest sa kaya ne 20 minutes. Okay. Now akinyo nong wala ki pinsha yo exam hipo sine pa kaya nong na college la mumui the school la pike wala shi paper no dikilam to mogine ya la tsaki la to exam sai ni mo shi people osq la to exam sai ni mo idishina people osq tipo wala shi pink la NPSC exam hi bola ye. I'm telling you first station calculation la this examination demands certain certain degree of hard work and a certain level of consistency and discipline from the candidate. Exam was sini bai pinch kila pinch mo kila mo le inch kila inch kiti tago pinch kila this I get a kala klam mo ki kyusho is penkia in a vekid exam boye one of the toughest, in fact the toughest in Nagal. Why? Do you all know how many candidates register for the prelims examination every year? Just for a few number of posts, 45 posts, 75 posts, 85 posts, I'm bad. Nagal na team kids na prelims, NPSC prelims or registration here on a conservative estimate 14 to 15,000 candidates. Post lopung lots of tishi applying shitting. If 14 or 15,000 candidates to levy prelims examination secure to levy at June, July happening, filters happening. If only a few becomes selected to appear the next stage of examination. NPSC examination like stage prelims men's interview. Prelims la hazard chiripting or chiripung to apply teaching. If prelims la selection ratio is 1:10. Post la higla ting chirip prelims la. So I'll just give you an example. I'll just give you some basic method, giving taking an example of the time I cracked MPSC. In Ibirakim Pela, there were, if I'm not wrong, there were 85 posts only. In Ibirakim Pela, 85 posts in Ibirakim. About 14,000 candidates applied for NPSC prelims. Okay. Ikela prelims la 14,000 sike dolo selection ratio commission of fellowship 1:10 ke. Post la hikla team check, which means prelims la khali out of 14,000 candidates, only 850 candidates were selected. The rest 12,000-13,000 they get happy. Can you sense the level of competition? Men's examination in lost lang itare 850 kishi vegim. Men's examination lare itare timi kishi khinenge job. Ipo only a few selections. Eki men's examination la selection ratio ye 1:3. Ne eki team 850 ilo sikyo dolo 1:3 selection ratio jo ye 850 dolo just about 260 to 270 if I'm not wrong. If my math is not wrong. 850 dolo in low interview singyu 260 or 250 dolo ki selection ne. Ipo 260 or 250 low interview sigim ko he tipo dollar interview sa ngina pe akna limit mo 260 or 250 dolo 85 in skim pela di 85 post ake new akhin na lots in khala ki shake mens la low interview singyu akhin na lots in dolo ashakala new 85 ki shake akumlat singi. So kishi kamsalani de exam hi boye mlama chakmoke zarashi chekyu chakmoke la ikimu sinepa kochuchona ami chona people singem salatuno zarashi timna sani ne sani momo ene pinch kala people su to exam sani mo itishne people sikyu tipo wala shingila exam hi boye I'm sorry but even in 10 years time you'll never crack this examination. I'm not trying to sound rude here, but I'm just trying to dole out the facts here. Ne eke nongla nong exam hi post me kumsara ye I make sure preparation tipo laki nong like now let's talk about the scheme of examination very quickly. I'll just give you some. See, NPSC exam cha ipo pingyo ye kandala hikin chala pikang be chak moke. It takes time. It requires time. I mean, okay. What I will attempt to do is I'll just attempt to emphasize on certain key points of the examination only. Point people how both doing it no zoom in and quickly get the very few important points. Scheme of examination. Okay. And actually, examination in post stage thing. First stage na preliminary examination, second stage na men's examination, final stage na personality test. Now let's look into what the preliminary examination is all about. Let's also talk a little about the question pattern, and I'll also just give you a small detail and tips on how to go about preparing for prelims examination. Okay. Now prelims examination la 200 marks na sa chinke. Ipo question pattern ye the MCQ best. MCQ by you multiple choice question. Question like it's nani 200 questions anake. And for each question option B is nange. Ipo option B dolo option like him king na answer right chanange jo. What you need to do is you need to take the right option. And then there is also 1/3 negative marking. Meaning no question like mistakes by 0.33 negative marking tuning, which means question mistakes by 1 mark negative mark tuning. Preliminary examination question pattern MCQ based for 200 marks. There is 1/3 negative marking. Okay. Now just very quickly, prelims examination for kisi preparation paper. If you go through the recent past 2 years question paper, prelims question paper, you will notice that there has been a change in trend of the nature of question. There has been a change in the train of the questions that is usually asked now. Question paper kai ithe dolo ki lakile bagina piki ni namu hilawe. Hipozu ye question paper ye ona factual ye la factual mane who is who hipo ye khila sul change hipo ye timbo ye kona bonu kya even hipo ye ku dot ki wrong happen shika very factual la tishi segimo In the recent year, particularly in the recent 2 years, there it's a question paper ye factual small, it has become very conceptual. Ne, conceptual mane, facts and figures kumopu, unless a candidate has a thorough or a good understanding of the subjects and the topics prescribed in the syllabus, prelims question paper tipo attention to show. Nona Q peng da, nona betalu repimoye, the betalu repimo memorize ki shaye, ite prelims later in show. Ne, ipu ite ye, since the question paper has become very conceptual in nature, nona pick your kilo, nona Q topic peng, Q subject peng le tipo ye. Nsimshe betalu pimasa Q tipo la chengine. So I'll just give you one tip or about how to study conceptually. And this is not something I have, taken off of the internet. This is not something I've, taken off of some, self-help book. This is something I have personally followed and I still personally, follow. And I can't pay you, conceptually pitching you. And people be in to know, you Tim Lama, you pill, so, and I go back Q subject, Q topic paranamu, I study with a curious mindset. The trick to learning conceptually is to study with a curious mindset. What do I mean by studying with a curious mindset? No topic like you need to have certain questions in your mind, as in if you're studying a topic, what is this topic all about? You'll find the answer, definitely. Secondly, my topic you purpose serve question in your vision, you'll find the answer in the book. Thirdly, how is this topic relevant to my daily life? Or how is this topic relevant to the society? You'll find the answer. Rather than question framework like penny Keti blind piketunan to know cumu graph silinchomo cumu veteran cumo. Ekim no question framework like akam slehebu la tipo tikala paye. And this is I'm saying this based on my experience. Ni bola shay ni topic learn chilchenge. Ni yona productive study productive study like chilchenge. Vetalu chilchenge. No me bola ki pincheng. Question example, Indian political topic like fundamental rights. Very simple topic. Fundamental rights. What are fundamental rights? Or what is fundamental rights all about? Answer to both fundamental rights. Fundamental rights purpose new society la new country la fundamental rights purpose question injugu pisho answer la in I believe conceptual learning tip like conceptual shallow in a question in memorize prelims like becomes conceptually pillow I believe he'll perform well in the examination. Okay, now prelims examination just quickly breeze to it. Syllabus Indian history, Indian history, Indian polity, world and Indian geography, general science, Indian economy, current affairs, Nagaland, aptitude. Aptitude basic math, reasoning tipo okay. Ike preliminary examination with syllabus he change ne. Man's examination. Okay. Now, no na prelims examination ni pirba ye next stage of examination ye mains examination ke ne ipu mains examination la ye achara tis chenge ne ipu tiote khemala ye ho NPSC office lanas neng ke achara tis ipu mains examination la paper tis neng basically the first paper is general English paper, second paper is general studies paper 1, third paper is general studies paper 2. Okay, now in a quickly and vague way, this is what I was very concerned about. Erekim go to NPSC chimoki ma gai in hili erep atsapiku yekirona Tima Chona meaningless civil tipo concern like anyway, since I've come here to speak, let me just take my time and present what I've prepared. Okay? And I believe no moment is very no in like you will put no sapan bonus panangla tips and advices to me. Right? So chalo. General English. After the first general English for 3 hours. Okay? For 200 marks. So general English paper is in my opinion, out of the 3 papers mentioned, this is the toughest paper. Why? Time constraint. Conducted, you're required to write 2 essays. Conducted, if you conducted, you're required to write 2 essays of 1,000 words each. Firstly, topic essay, if you topic you can write essays on any 2 topics. Select if you 80 marks comprehension question. Comprehension passage passage for each passage question which means there will be 80 comprehension questions. Okay? 80 marks comprehension essay have it Ashikashi 20 marks grammar questions questions easy attention conducted completion unless you have a good writing skill, unless you have a good comprehension skill. Again, lucky general English and lucky tips kish preparation la pin shay firstly essay take you current affairs internationally, nationally, state Q and Belakiking Q current events, Q issues, social issues, it could be a social issue, it could be a constitutional political issue, economic issue, Q and Belakiking India la ayer halo nagaran Q on hot topic si kapangila tipugola question paper stage chingechon essay topic essay on preparation Q you need to be somebody who is well abreast with current affairs and events taking place around the world, taking place in India, taking place in Nagaland. Now, how do you keep yourself updated with current affairs and events? You do that by reading, basically by reading a newspaper. So, in a newspaper, if you're a civil services aspirant or planning on applying civil services and BSc civil services, make newspaper reading a part of your daily study routine. Newspaper reading hipo shima sakchakyu no na mensla iperenship kumsaga no ye newspaper reading hipo ye kyu sham shama sakchakyu no ye aye khala kusheng ite nagalam la kusheng le India la kusheng tipo ulkino update shipu Mughapu Swu tipo on a men's late examination iperenship akini ushi comprehension ye kyu kya passage la hitba can time within a limited time no passage tipo vethalpu passage holak kyu question tipo answer shimasake so unless you're somebody who has a good reading skill or unless you're somebody who has a good comprehension ability comprehension ipo software ta kusok so how do you go about polishing your comprehension skill? You do that simply by reading newspaper la in there is a section in newspaper called the editorial section. Okay, you take any paper, be the local paper, Morang Express, national paper, there is a page there called editorial page. no over comprehension skill develop policy. It's important that you read that editorial section every day. If you do that, I'm telling you, your comprehension skill will become top notch. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, General Studies Paper 1, the question format is similar to the prelims question format, MCQ, 1/3 negative marking. Okay, and the subjects the subjects prescribed for General Studies Paper 1 is Modern History, General Science, Nagaland, Current Affairs Aptitude. Okay, anyway, this is not important. Thirdly, up to General Studies Paper 2 for 200 marks. Ipu here descriptive paper, written paper. Okay, and the subjects covered under this paper is Indian polity, geography, Indian economy, Nagaland, public administration, and social issues. Okay, and essay paper 1 issue to question paper NPSC paper 2 it's becoming again very opinion. The questions asked are very opinion based. Current affairs oriented factual question. What are fundamental rights? Now, which fundamental right does Article 14 cover? What are DPSPs? Factual question subject like Bujumona memorize no mess like it conceptual understanding first of all. Aginiushi current affairs best questions to my job. For example, Kashu maths question there was a question on SDG, right, Amjad? Sustainable Development Goal, no? Sustainable Development Goal. No, kisne Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, just one, only he can. Okay. Question Sustainable Development Goal for 20 marks, if I'm not mistaken. Now that is a current topic. Do you the question to me? Men's la, current affairs la. Ikela paper to ipo it is in you yella. Initially, they current affairs Asukhuto Shipahama Sakushibakine, men's landing hours preparation share, performance share. And lucky lads are lucky being shy. Candidates actually mistake shaken lucky and not to see being shy. Candidates actually accuse mistake shinga. Current affairs shaken neglect shinga. Newspaper eating is skim shaman. Ipo Akutagala Indian polity, the static portions of the syllabus, Indian polity, geography, history, till keep in current affairs neglect shinga. And that hampers their performance examination. Ne, again, lucky advice in Shaki. No, exam preparation to your Kali Indian polity, history, the ball keep newspaper reading, make it a part of your daily study routine. Ne, make it a part of your daily study routine. Later, I'll tell you which papers to read. Okay, one advice I would like to give you is do not neglect current affairs. If you do so, that will cost you dearly. Okay, I'm telling you, you may get through prelims, but you'll never get influence if you're weak in your current affairs. Okay, so current affairs newspaper reading, tipo yalo tushlo, tipo laki novela pilani. Now answer writing skill. Men's examination here, it's all about your ability to write answers, your ability to express the opinions that you have, over here. Go people over opinion you need. Tipo express you, articulation you. La, tipo on a writing skill. When I say writing skill, I don't mean on Shakespeare do Hamas ammonia. La, Mom handwriting should give you Momo on a grammatically correct sentence. When I say you need to have a good writing skill, what I mean is you need to have the ability to express your opinion. You need to have the ability to articulate your opinion and your thoughts. And that skill only comes along if you practice. Answer writing, it's a skill, and any skill requires practice, right? So answer writing, no man's exam no answer writing practice. Okay? And what I did back then, during my preparation days was every week, at least 1 or 2 times, a question like in your answer writing issue. And I believe that helped me, develop a, fairly averagely good answer writing skill. Okay, which could also be the reason why I scored well in my English paper also. Okay, so normally I like advice answer writing skill develop, and then how do you develop your answer writing skill? By practicing. There is there are so many resources available online these days, okay, that you can use to hone your answer writing skills. And there is one such site that I would like to, mention, a site which I relied on during my preparation days, and that site is called Insights IES. Insights IES. Insights IES. There is a website called Insights IES. Insight INSIGHTS. Let me just write it down. Legible, no? Insights IES. Okay. Ipo website they have a program there called Men's Secure Program, where every day, question bidipungtli posting ipo along with that question, tipo article refresh question tipo frame article tipo linkers ne tilchik mo question tipo ye answer kishi hamasa kila introduction la kyu hamasa body la kyu hamasa conclusion la kyu hamasa for each question there is one resource that you can use to polish your answer writing skill. That is something I relied on and it really helped me. So if you're interested, please suggest in this site. This is a very good site. Okay. I'm sure my presentation is slowly starting to get boring. I'm about to complete. So please bear with me. Okay. Ipo the presentation exam la one interest achikim kon la exam interest so I understand. Okay, but thank you for your patience. Thank you for bearing with me so far. Acha hil la ki Nagaland Nagaland la kyu question irachne bini pa ningu culture la na question irane Ningu make sure merele. Ekite ni kali ni singu mona. Ashi kyungyungan ko relegaching, yimchunga ko relegaching, chang mi aum ko relegaching to no. In fact, very interestingly, this time men's examination la. Chang mi kyang jebe, chatni la ki jebe. Chang mi go sharamta, chatni la ki jebe jo. Ibu chatni je la ki tsibu chatni la. Chatni ke chatni to no la. Simchalagan. Chatni laki je tsipu tipo chatni po ye kuno shai na chingepe irigujo. Iki tihoto ningu food culture, ningu meshomeretsa, ningu customary laws, ningu tradition. Mumu Nagaland geography, flora, fauna, Nagaland political situation, Nagaland the social issues taking place in Nagaland. Tipo lama irigine men's la boarding paper 1 and paper 2 la. Iki laki nongla pisha kyo. Ningu akchuna candidate chuna question number exam one preparation aikila Nagaland ipi mom tebuti kiti Indian politics geography khalangu history modern history ko gipisin ningu Nagaland culture ningu Nagaland religion tipo neglect tipo la kache ngejo ikeno la ki pisha ikyo non exam one preparation ai Naga megalia alustimasa la ikiti yote unfortunately ningu Nagaland la ishi ona authoritative chulokage culture la ningu geography la tipo chulokage ikimu akamashi there are certain blog sites internet la blog sites hamiani okay where we will find resources on topics related with Nagaland. For example, there is a blog site called Naga Journal blog site tipo there is a blog site that I relied on during my men's preparation. I mean, what I'm basically trying to say is, exam people like you, ni meshave, mere itimasa, you na kotoke. Ni simkila, ni simu meshomere, ni culture, ni traditional itimasa, tilkik mopu, ni shay meshomere, mopu, tim shay wa meshomere itimasa, ona kotoke jo. Eki diyo te kulet like ya, tim shay le. Tiri nisnu na jo. La festival kyu la shay ngila. Example, Kyungan ko festival tem niyo pula kaje. Tipo really think you kapula tulun chamo kimo. Newspaper tulun ke. Tem niyo festival tipo, festival tipo ikula shen dam jevi September like September I think. Ikila September la festival tipo brown na celebrate cha newspaper la ntem new article yani tipo Q. Tipo PQ vecho na tim shaivu mesho mera relate ninge pa nge pa Q. Ne, ike example sa ikila ni kini shai relate mo na tim shai relate mas pa kyo na ko to. Ne, ike tipo la kinu ngla bila ni very quickly. Now, men's examination tipo tabe Ipuno initially begin selection by Asha cow test personality test. Personality test te kyunamo, it's a test of your personality. Ne, ipu based on my experience, what I've learned is personality test people like you, panam like you test chunamo, first of all, ul noye kenit like ye palki pa ya lustain tamo betipo test chingine. Il ki really by you tay bote. Ivu mesomere. Il pourrait lire in a simple nisi mesomere relate tamo tipo test chingine. Tilki mo en Q pipa indela atalata en college la en engineering pipa indela apu boye kuchuna mo pana engineering pa kiro kila kucho creative pa mo tipo test chingine you experience life and mo no kula mo iperle minchu para mo tipo they'll give you the same answer. Personality test is nothing but a test to assess whether a candidate knows about himself or herself. Okay, so personality test it's important initially to know, in detail about your village. No reality masakya aputo. No pula flora fauna. Atsin kuituching. Momo ashiara okyuti. Tiktola intuching icho. Momo river tipo no crossing tipo itimasa. Betalimo. Tipo de insuring momo over hobbies to la insuring over hobbies to la noxna hobbies palaching tipo to la insuring tilchik mo in akutoshi no graduation learn no q people in tipo la question in juni putsa in near engineering pike IT like computer science making the IT information technology engineering pike iki an interview skit time la chairman mo fourth member na engineering IT engineering question really I think about 30% of the questions asked to me during my interview was based on my engineering studies. Ikito personality test ipo no kish preparation ni pepai. No graduation na Q subject pipangila. Atsana no BA pain no political science honors pipangila. Tipo alalus itiaramasa. Ni tilchik mo na vegedwe you need to know about our culture, our tradition. You also need to have certain information about your village. Tipo akuto. Of course. Questions kutao ko interesting example kaya na first ko ele engineering pe la iku tipo wa ingimu akutoshi ulki obaliti masakin kinireti masaki tipo la king personality test la tipo la ki akini ushi personality test sekiuya timla chiu maturity level test sangichu timla chiu character I'm joke mo pa ye humble mo pa ye possible sila pa ye possible responsibly tipo possible tipo the testing of maturity and of personality of maturity tipo molshing polishing there are no such mantras no self-help book kami people molshing tera latsa tishkumo kicho ekim the good news is if you are a sincere aspirant right who works hard the preparation journey itself molds and polishes your personality and your outlook Kugila of personality develops mina kugila kaku pam mum kugila mantra follows mum kicho ekim no kucho sincere experience like shara the preparation process itself I'm telling you the preparation process itself polishes your personality it molds your personality this examination has a way of humbling us team candidate hamiye exam po toppers ko example gold medalist college ko la NPC exam ata la sir kila ki sikim se permi da za shir nge cho la tin vilam ki kish pineng le junche mo ki pana piti kishne shipu iloning ki mo sa pa ipermo po a ko ki o shi cho la so this exam is a way of humbling you okay not just that this examination also teaches you persistence it teaches you patience no pinch momo ulkino in a example winter morning go to especially when the exam is close winter go regular pinch mono in a high bitipun la ulkino jabotus alarm simile to you tishi to na pi la uksampam go na ilaki wala kila no pana wala linshimo keti ulkin no so Mughapu agilang kakupi. Tishkyo lokulo, what is happening? No ashishna, you slowly start becoming, a passionate person. Right? But I don't know. La. Pinch mumpi, la. Tishkyo lokulo, you slowly start becoming a very patient person. Right? It calms you down. It matures your personality. I mean, I cannot really pinpoint on how the examination goes about, molding a personality, but I'm telling you, the examination process, if you are a sincere aspirant, really polishes and molds your personality. It matures you. So, when it comes to a personality test, as far as your personality aspect is concerned, there is nothing special that you need to do. Okay? Or no book that you need to read. If you're a sincere aspirant, the preparation journey itself will, mold your personality. Okay? Now, these are some of the book lists. Book list is in a figure. It's equal and pitching. Okay? But one remark that I would like to give regarding the book list is, am I taking a lot of time actually? Book list is moving in a book list book list in 2014 graduate July graduate I started preparing the next month August preparation 2014 same candidates actually mistake Ishi kapulaki pay aksam lakina ekawi pola monkey market like a cocktail like any tipilo paper. He heaven hoop you la hoop ya market like a cocktail right heaven hoop you tipo ye that will cost you dearly. Tipo no problem tipo spinsham. Ikimu no like tip like it's in you no you go paying killer kaku tipo like stick sugar market like a give me a usam like a gutia no pay your alum hello. Ikim no Q paying like tipo la stick sugar. Because what is important is to read the same book multiple times rather than reading new books each time. No book like kije pigra tije no book like kije pigra tije information retention line. Most importantly, no couple like utikije pigra tije conceptual clarity so remember, stick to what you're reading. Market like you can make a routine like you can bear. No couple, I don't keep paying a pillow. Nay, in the lucky hilly analogy like I keep on, sharing this with my students at my academy. Analogy like parents. Relationship like girlfriend. Some of you are too young, to even listen to something, a topic such as relationship. Some of you are too young for such a topic. No one to adult coin. Relationship like loyalty girlfriend and boyfriend loyal shimo. La mom boyfriend girlfriend loyal shimo relationship to boyfriend shimo la relationship la loyalty relationship to a fruitful shim. It ends up in marriage. Right? Similarly, okay, I use this analogy with my students. Similarly, even when it comes to this examination, you need to be loyal to your books. Okay? Otherwise, market la kabu active area so kabu tipo kabu tao such chewing on the exam pola performing you. It hampers your chances of performing well in the examination. So my advice is remain loyal to your book. Kaku market like Q video Juki Kapuana Tipo Jukilo. No Q paying the Tiki Palo. Your book, will repay you. Kaku Q paying the TP, Tipoloki pay. This book will repay you. Okay? How? Because if you read the same book multiple times, it helps you to retain more information. It helps you to grasp, it gives you a better conceptual clarity. Clear? Anyway, book list is you please let me know. I can send you this PDF. Okay. Now I just want to mention one thing. Current affairs initially packed way newspapers have no suggestion And the reason why I want to mention this is because I feel this is important. Atrashi local paper like masa. Kisan Nagaland Post piece ne kila. Oh, itu cuma kan. Acha, that's bad news actually. Anyway, Morang Express lagi normal page aku. Non exam itu mana preparation apa? Momo usan no boleh buat preparation itu. Nagaland Post kila itu kila bilo. Nagaland Post itu paper ko ke. Acknowledgement na felicitation pachi tu no क्यों नहीं सुधारने नवा नालन पोस्ट तुम खाने से ला इके नो ना एग्जाम में correction भी तुम साके Modern Express भी लो क्यों से Modern Express पे भी किला ये the articles that this paper carries are articles relevant to the examination ने first point secondly it's also important to read at least one national paper and my personal preference is there are two national papers usually read by candidates the Hindu and Indian Express I find the Hindu to be a little biased as well as I find their language to be a little difficult to understand. So my personal preference is Indian Express. There are certain magazines that I would like to suggest you. For prelims, competition is focused by Arihant. This is a very good magazine for current affairs for prelims examination. Secondly, for men's examination, there is a magazine called Drishti IES. Drishti IES is Dimapur Lamu the good news is it's available online, Amazon. Every month where you can order it online every month. These are some of the papers and sources that I would like you to read for current affairs. Anyway. Anyway, very quickly, there are certain myths surrounding the NPSC examination, which I feel is important to debunk. Exam boy ishma saki ishma boy pera chuma ke ishma ba exam boy pera chuma hi bahut kin kuma boy pera chuma ke kutu male andasi zachimi rumors kutu ma chimi chu ipu rumors ti bochul ke la tin thaki mishla ti bochul ko NPSC boy nishna be musu chin nishi la ike to ona I would like to take this time to debunk some myths. First myth you should not use a smartphone or you should only use a black and white phone. Kisan chulva. Kisan no kuman azam kichimgo na kisim shinsha ya phone chula use kilo mon black and white phone use mase. Kisan chulva lagi I'm sure job pe la. Enong la pe. Tiwete akim kike. I'm not trying to encourage you wrongly. Example pingi la NPSC example phone I put on la phone hipo khai ke la ye exam ko preparation to ona kushok siki ikakums la ike tim na no la phone use kilo no na kisim shin sha ga ye la NPSC la pege che kimi phone use chama black and white phone use chine tiu ta kim ki la ki pisha tiu o vikim pe la ki na biku achumi le chulvate IPSC be ka la ike many mad respects to him. That is something I can only dream of. Okay? Ike mo pana interview la pana alapana go interview la buy a black and white phone use during his preparation days, right? Ike la tipo interview apaza kuto mo na tima pala ispa ni pala kuto mo na interview tipo jupo te aten la ejo UPS le perengi black and white phone use chingi no dis masale pitwe gine tipo ye ronke kyushe e pa ye viku ye apaza she give me first of all she give me money he pap apaza ye they had the money to send him to Delhi for coaching for 1 year coaching okay post the completion of his coaching his parents were rich enough to sponsor his stay in Delhi Della coaching and the which means he had access to the best of guidance in Delhi, he had access to the best of resources in Delhi. Which is why a smartphone use black and white phone use contextual difference. For somebody like me, let me tell you my story. And a vico do it mazana even a black and white phone use slow and pace letter and shakaya pe Ipo and black and white phone use I think no giz lesh put on why? Near it was like in him. Ni, ipu ni coaching na cho. La, viku doi mom ku la yu pesle fetching doi. Ni delle coaching na. Nangalang nam coaching na yu go pisa kaya. Ni, nangalang nam coaching la. Devotional guidance ka ha. Ambola la kala na to in pesle fetching. Kyung na ni guide chika. Again black and white phone you say ni print kyo. Communication. So, if preparation days la, my smartphone was my best friend. It was my guardian. It was my, guide. Tipo shuna in engineering background, syllabus la ya shuna arts, syllabus Indian politics history. Ikilen coach mo kaya nikishi betalin chede. Ikimi smartphone pe chuna. Ina topic la kibu chumo hindi betla. YouTube la ilo, Google la ilo. Tipo search ipo topic tipo betalo. Pe pa ini. To na ipegel kishi. Contextual difference ti masa. Betalin mo. La, viku na black and white phone picture ning chua black and white phone picture pe masa. Iputi siya ba ningo ipen tik mo gini. Context different. There are differences in context. Ikiu nombla tipo laki veta pni. Apo ngazana pinamo tipo nombla tipo laki itipensha. Ikimo there is an exception. Tiete kunamo you need to know how to use it wisely and judiciously. Right? Knife shanamo if you use it for a bad purpose such as murder. Knife yalo motunanga. Ikimo no akivila you say cooking la new helps shi. Without a knife, how do we go about cooking? Right? Tihutwe phone shan no akivila use pa akivi. No. Betam tho beta batalo monati. Eke phone ipo beta tibo beta pa aloki. This will serve as a resource for you during your preparation list. Meet people like basulane. Okay, next time if your parents ask you to use a black and white phone, tell them acha the black and white phone using it, send me to Delhi. Okay, this bit. Alright. Secondly, me too. You should cut off all social ties or you should become an ascetic during preparation. Preparation should be a negative attrala mistakes. Preparation of tiny bit as a clue. I should be no enough. I glad that we become an ascetic monk. Monk waiting, wala kalashima, but the Panamaka, Sarat and Palamuchin, Timachu, switching each other. Tipo healthy Mogine. Ningwa, as human beings, we are a social animal. Right? Ipunimo socialize Samasake. Ilki in a position. At home, Bella Nere, Tipo Shipangine. I cut off all social ties. A Polomo Betunamba. Ipurun like you. What happened to me? It started impacting my mental health. I started having anxiety, to be honest. No, anxiety issues ko ipere in a team wala be mo ke team siputa mo ke kakula ki ngobu pige ikakamsum refresh mo ni chiku ko penglam tha ikiwul nang la ki pisha ke exam preparation should gela. You need not necessarily cut off your social ties. You can still socialize. You can still go to church. You can still hang out with friends, occasionally. Kaku piabu adot lag samolo ilyul kire tirani kakam sufri refresh lan shi. Right? If you know that tipo meet tipo laki basani, tipo laki plani. Thirdly, you should study 10-15 hours a day. Timag chuna change. There are certain people, NPC, UPC period, they tend to romanticize their preparation journey. You want to preparation journey. Make it to a team flow in impress. And these are people, these are the people who tells you to study 10-15 hours a day. Kije in Hilwaki at a lakanda church out. Church Pimla is team gear. A lot of it in a pink ilkin at Halak and the church Pepamoni. Uchuna Shimla you in a pipa in a preparation they intense because I atra 4 to 5 hours. I'm not even kidding. In a kandalaki, pucho kandalaki, kishlu kandaki. La, it is peer job. Ikimo in a living shaki, it is not about the number of hours you put into your study schedule. Rather, it is about how productively you're using your study time. And a kanda bidipung pichanamu. Niye kanda pitipung doloi niye tipo ye aloshi peta chekecho pe ke kila neki aloshi pichekecho kanda pitipung pinam. Okay, which is why it helped me to perform well in the examination also. Now there could be some people who might accuse me, saying, "Eh, no, kanda piti pun ki pekyu no ye ESC kuma DSP kuma ki ivlam pemta, le ni DSP kuma chon, ni I'm only a class 2 gazette rank, you know, if rank class 2 gazette tu ni class 1 kuma kini, di bola ki pinsang. Ike no tim hamie no kanda piti pun ki pechekyo no DSP kuma ta pemta kini, iki mi bola ivla ki no bola pinsang kyo. Ini perekim bela, la ini perekim bela. Aloshkinti men's written examination aloshkinti. I did exceptionally well. English paper la sharamo I was among the top scorers. English paper la ni. Ikimo sadly interview la lo. Net what I'm like 75 marks la na interview la 75 marks take jo. Kish vegilam taputi. Ivila mark share ta check kis out of 75. Ne. That was a very low score. Mark share ta chel kis kyu vechona ni DSP mark chona to movie la candidates ka time ko ina ma ho score mark chicken ina ma ho mens la dipone lo DSP chu cho interview la mark lo pun lo choi tu sveko la iki ivu defense la to plan cho and khanda bidit pun pilam pinamo ni I could secure a good mark in my men's examination dipono la dipola ki itibengel bank be iki no la ki pisha ki exam ipo NPSC sana UPSC sana or any other competitive examination. It is not necessary that you should study for 10-15 hours a day. If you do it for 4 or 5 hours a day, if you do that consistently, however, there is more. Okay? Fourth myth, the marks no change. NPSC le parent kimi one pag ta kimi ne parent. Le one exceptionally brilliant one parent. Take mo ke. Ne. In pingelaw yele I do kimi ne brilliant mo ke ne intelligent mo ke. I'm somebody of average intelligence only. Iki men consistently PQ and a Q pima sagleta. Exam hipo ye Q wala kish pima sagleta you don't need. So in lahil pincha you need not be exceptionally brilliant. You need not have an impressive academic track record. Okay. Example parent no class 10 topper shamas 12 la university medal gold medalist shamas tish momo no. I'm actually preparation. No, Q wala kish preparation mas ni tipo preparation. No, you link it wala playing. Mid 5, your family should be well connected or have political connections to get through NPSC. Now, hipo mid hipo you kuno kona isi preparation nan le exam le perang kuno kona preparation ni. Alusha exam preparation mona ti sikir le spi perang ngem se khave inge lak chicken kuna khave inge le political connection na kuno kona perang nge perang nge. No la ki bishik te kuchok mo ni. Ni ne pegedwe ni kimi family kum political connection kana even ase kum political connection kana la ikimo ivu merit vechona ni pegecho ikihu no vlet bola ki timi shaitu ye NPS la khal khave inge kinim ka kam tel kini pegan bikiti ye kuchok mo ki be no la pelan ikim no na amikcho she no na lus kumsa shipi no na pagapza pi ye Q na mo of postipo ulana lugam na ki be bola ki no la pilani okay. Now, lastly, in Laki Nubla, Laki Pinshaiku, I'm really sorry. My plan was actually to speak only for an hour. Lastly, civil services la Nagaland la Nisimi Shai, civil services la representation. You want Mikem Zen. Kuno Shayna, civil services la representation along la Ashait Boy to Jingine, Ashait Boy socio-economically progressive. Okay. Administration la Juju, police la Juju, Momukugila allied departments la Juju. For that matter, if department la Ning Simi, Iku, Alushkimta Khana Arana, Iku, Actipeling, Ning, just a few of us actually get Jolim dream, nearly tribalism Sapamine. Tihuto department actually nisim civil services la kijimi. Ona mikimze. La ipo mikimze ki bechona nisim ye ashla la socio economically tim halamu. Ena kuto ida tim hamlam tevene. Ikihu nongla la kile encourage shaitu. Civil services la nishe nisimi arma sakyu ona kuto shaitu. Hili hi lotim ko la encourage shai. Nongna ite ye decide suna na kai I glow what like you message being shiny. La Momo for that matter, internet column search you. For that matter, you can even call me up. Okay? Civil services to prospect who go like Ishkela. Ipo, I would like you to consider choosing civil services as a career. Not just for you, not just for your family. Ikim nisim shayong. Civil services learning representation ay kushani ni shayena. Socio-economic la zo haung yong. Tipo ashikash no let wala kiplani. Ipo. Actually, happy press pam. Give me your phone. Tiwas actually information agila. Acha. Acha tipo yesh intima ning pastor kavilam bebengyo. Ipo regarding skill development le. Or is it? Acha. Then should I skip this topic? Or is it? If you phone tiwas agani agila. Acha. Anyway. Kuchulai, I don't know. Kuchulai, she resource person could time back to Pavechuna entrepreneurship chalapi. Pini bit chat for shake, Ning office per square kim of Mark Moshipai navigate. Anyway, it's a hipoto, NPSC civil services examinations. Pagidway, topic Pia Gaurshalava, Ikimo, topic like Ikimo no la Alash Paraye. I would feel that my job there is done. For that matter, please feel free to approach me. You can, get my number from our president here. Okay? Or for that matter, even from our youth secretary. Okay? Now, no question I am civil services aspirant question mine no queries besides being a civil servant, I would also, regard myself as a teacher. Why? Because Dimapula like-minded team. Mughapu coaching institute like and that academy is called Aspire Academy. We provide coaching for NPSC civil services examination as well as NSB examination. Okay. Now, first of all, our academy is not profit oriented. No, the academy up to coaching academy up to now free structure. It's exorbitant, I'm telling you. Exorbitant. 70, 80,000, 50, 60,000 for 6-7 months course. We do not believe in profit makers. Okay? New vision here, inclusive vision. Inclusive money. Kinim Shana Shil Sam Shana, new academy la trainship coaching. If you will fee structure, our location plus new discount. Discount shall make more scholarship coaching. 100% scholarship. Abaza Kakim Shilik Sami, it ain't working in the Panatang. Is Shilik Sami. Unfortunately, 100% scholarship to it is 7 months watching on me. I can use it. No, like intuition. No, farming in the lead, Tinshapale. I will check the Tinshap call on any number. Call on any Doctor Lonanga. Macolonanda. Farmer, exactly. Tihude. NPSC examinations for Colonanda. Exam like everything going in a lucky pinching. I'm not trying to undermine the coaching academies in Dimapur. Okay? Dimapula Achuna. And I say this not to, pressure you or to impress you into joining my academy. No. No, don't be a West Pinch. I'm going to pay me. Dimapula coaching academy actually. At least she can go away. Prelims me, I'm going to shine in it. Exam math, do you think they'll be able to teach you? Do you think the students in those academies are learning? No. Right? In academy, we have, I would like to, proudly mention this, that we have a vibrant faculty lineup. A faculty touchable ni bitina in basic correction. Lakina ESC, King na JDA, na. Lakina. Besides that, the other faculties are also people who have cracked prelims and mains examination multiple times. Meaning, ningu academy shikayat ko NPSC level shikayat mo kin shikayat.
which is why new academic year last year start July 1 new which is why new first batch students here one am booking that produce grade first academic freshers ko why students ko katana ikimu new faculty ne gere include kish master qp master get ko la shika ki to ne bra pan shi la ikiu la ki no la trisha non dolo mu ko yela coaching and business ni shi ma ai na mo ampule na sampai ko yela coaching ni ma ai non villa we would like you to consider my academy our academy aspire academy la non na era ni kom share ai and then I'll give you a very good discount also na ni kom share ai if you special discount as well if you want like I said, if you would like to know further about my academy and the courses we offer, please reach out to me. You can get my number from our youth secretary or from our youth president. Okay, so this is all from me. And if I give thank you.